Hello and welcome back to Anno 1800 and the glorious capital of not coping. So, I want to get started. We got a new world expedition we can go on.
Preparation.
Let's go ahead and get that set up and ready to go. Let's see. Actually, hold on a sec. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and
This is the eye of the Devil's Storm.
send our ship of the line. Yeah, I've got a few new ships. I did quite a bit between last episode and this. And I don't think we're going to have anything for diplomacy. Alright, look through my items. There's nothing really interesting I want to... nothing really I want to use. Although, I say that. And nope. Okay. Okay. Guess we'll take some timber. That'll be for crafting. Yeah, we're not going to have anything for diplomacy. Hunting. What did I want to send for hunting? Coal. We got a whole bunch of coal. Let's go ahead and send some of that over.
Ship constructed.
And we just got another ship constructed. Okay, we're going to need some rations as well. Why don't we use beef since that'll give us force, even though it's saying we're not going to need it. Let's just send some beef. Okay. And with that, we're going to start the expedition. Okay, so yeah, you saw I got beef, I got canned food, I got bell peppers, and that's what I've been mostly working on over here. A whole lot of farmers, a few workers. I got the workers so that I could set up 2 iron mines and 2 coal mines. That's why we got so much iron and coal headed over there.
Ready for a challenge.
We got a ship taking that over to the other island constantly. But yep, here we go. Here's the cattle farms. And of course I got some schnapps and clothing going. And then I went a little crazy on the bell peppers. Got quite a few of them. I don't even how many did I set up over here? 21 red pepper farms, 12 cattle farms. That should be plenty. I've every now and then been selling off a full shipment, that being 200 tons of red peppers. That brings in a cool, what is it, 16 grand or so. It's not bad. Makes us a fair bit, and holy crap. When did I start making so much money? Last I looked, I was like just barely making money. But somehow, some way. You know what it is? I think it's because I started supplying sewing machines. That's gotta be what it is. And yes, I do have a hospital now as well. I've had a couple of plague outbreaks over here. And started paving some of the roads as well. Of course, that's just because I've had a large accumulation of bricks with really nothing better to do with them. So I'll just spend a bunch of them upgrading roads. The roads need to be upgraded anyway, so might as well do it when I got the bricks laying around for it. Yep. Alright. Oh, we got so many, I suppose we could probably do this as well. A delivery quest, huh? Let me guess, you're gonna want like 200 tons of bricks now that I just used them all. What?
Flagship at your service.
Yeah, I guess, okay. What do you got for me? Apologetic gift going to Sir Archibald Blake. Well, now, what did you do?
On our way.
Okay, so that's the other thing. This is where the DLC Sunken Treasures is going to pick up. We got to sail to Sir Archibald Blake's lighthouse. That pops up, you get a little thing saying, you know, the queen vanishes, you get a little news article thing. And then it asks you to sail here, and then it just stays in your quest book forever. And once we do that, we'll be able to have that expedition here. Anyway, I don't really want to do any more quests. I've been doing a ton of quests. Just been doing a bunch. Mostly so I can... Most of the quest money I've been throwing at the pirate here and Harlow. Yeah, we got a good chance.
You big toff.
Of course.
May we see?
I've made better deals
Oh,
with
you
seals.
suck.
Treading paths never trodden.
Just happy I set out on an expedition. So that's what the sea captain there was telling me. My ship has left the region and is out on the expedition now. So now that it's out on expedition, we basically just wait for a pop-up telling us that the expedition needs our attention. In which case, it's a text-based decision we'll have to make. And other than that, yeah. Here's all the soup kitchens. No, they're not Priuses. These are actual soup kitchens. And here's our canneries. Yeah, none of this production here is like perfectly optimized. That is simply because, well, I want to put it on a different island.
Good and ready.
And I still don't have any beer production. And this is like the only island left that's somewhat fit for beer production. So perhaps that's what I'll do now while I wait for that expedition to kick off. Is that... Where's my flagship at? Is it made it over here yet? No. I can see all the pepper farms up there. Where is my ship? Why isn't it move? Oh, it I'm freaking blind. It is here. Okay. Oh, go over to the lighthouse. Give me the prompt to turn in the quest.
Now, here is a vital matter of
Yep, there we go.
bold new expedition, Admiral.
Okay.
Do the leaves rustle the rumor of...
Yes, I'll hand that in. And now we've got the Sunken Treasures expedition. Take a look at that. Hunting, diplomacy, navigation. Let's actually send the Desdemona on this.
Aye, 'tis fair.
Okay, so that gives us navigation, just that ship alone. And diplomacy and hunting. Well, we'll send some coal for hunting. Still no beer. So we need rations. I suppose let's send beef again. And that's all we're gonna send. And there goes the Desdemona. Off to find the queen.
On our way.
Okay. So let's take a look here.
Waiting new horizons.
Yeah, we got plenty of materials. We can go start another island. We got plenty of influence. Doing really well on money. So it's a perfect time to go get some beer. Let's take... We'll take that load. And now I'm going to have a look around real quick and make sure that this is actually the best beer island. which it would seem. Oh, here's one too. This one actually might be a little better. It is a little further away. This one, of course, was my first choice for beer production, but apparently the same went for old Bente Jorgensen. Yeah, she thought the same. And this one wasn't terrible either, and Princess King obviously thought that as well. So they've just left me with kind of crap islands left to choose from for beer production. And this one I don't really like for beer production because, yeah, it's more or less the same size as those other two that are still open, but it has a big old river running right through the middle, which is a bummer for large fields. This one has the fertility for it, but you could have maybe one brewery on here. This thing's absolutely tiny. How about this one, huh? This is like... Oh, geez. Could you imagine if this was your starting island? Like... What if I had chosen this one to start on? We wouldn't even be able to get bread on it, for one. I mean, not that it's big enough. But... we wouldn't be able to put much of anything on here. This one doesn't seem like it's good for anything other than if you just need the clay, coal, and copper. And nothing else, really. But yeah, I think this one here is the one we're gonna go with.
To get back to the blue.
Yep. That expedition is now underway. I didn't take a look at these over here. Some more tiny ones could put beer on here. Yeah, that'd be terrible. A terrible idea. This one really would have been the best. It just sucks. How much would it cost to buy this island? Let's see. Basically, what is it? 200, and then I think you have to buy another one. Yeah, takeover cost to be 300 then. I don't know if that takeover cost is taking into account the cost of buying all the shares and then the takeover cost, or if you have to buy each one of those shares, which would be about 200,000 right now, and it's just going up. And then you'd have to pay another 294,000 to take it over, and cost 34 influence as well. Okay, so I don't think we want to do that. Ooh, you know what we could do? This island is unsettled, and it has the fertility for wheat, which we could just grow a whole bunch of wheat here. Even though it does have that river there, it would still be good for growing a bunch of wheat. And then we could just find a good one that, like, for example, this island. Grow hops on here. And send the wheat over. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. Because what all do we need wheat for? We just need it for bread and beer, I think. I think that's all we'll need it for. Bread and beer.
Game saved.
Well, I suppose if something changes, we can always adjust. But I think right now the important thing is just to get some beer going. And if we have the room, which I don't think we're going to, we could put some furs up here. But the other good thing about this island, we got some extra clay, iron, coal, copper, and limestone. So, with the 3 islands we've got, we should have no shortage of raw resources. Although, I say that, and we don't have a whole lot of oil. Okay. So, yeah, we get a little pop-up here. Expedition requires our attention. Is this the new world? It definitely appears to be. So, yeah, we didn't bring anything for medicine now, did we?
Personage has arrived.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. I'm a little busy here. The throbbing blisters, the simple mosquito bites. Just try not to scratch them. If you can't help yourself, rub them gently, that's all. But a few hours later, the vesicles have already extended throughout their entire body. They collapse, unable to take a step further, whimpering with unbearable pain. Must be a rare breed of smallpox. Your squeamish doctor doesn't even lean close enough to the pustules before squealing. Stay away from them. These people are doomed. There's nothing we can do but avoid contagion. Panic ensues, and those untouched by the rashes stampede away. The aching bunch are irresponsibly abandoned and left behind. Okay. Yep. Pass around a haunch of beef and continue on. Alright, who do we have here? A sergeant. Welcome to Not Coping, Sergeant. Yep, would you go away? There's a little face peeking in on the island here. It's annoying. Go away. Ah, yes. Our ship should be coming in. There it is. Let's see. To get back to our island, we gotta go around there. So let's actually set up over here. Yes. And then we're gonna have to adjust trade routes. Come on. Yeah, what we need really to progress further is we need to get to the New World and we need to get some cotton
As long
going.
as you preserve what's already there.
We get that cotton going and
Just say the word.
You lost an influence bonus.
we should be able to make fur jackets, which will allow us to progress. Of course, we'll need to build a university then as well. And then we should be able to get... Oh wow, we just got a bunch more influence. What did we get that from? We haven't spent any on ships, huh? Okay. Okay, another expedition requires our attention, a royal progress. It is no coincidence that the trail of roses left in Her Majesty's wake has ended in this pretty continental town. What could have caused her to cross a narrow sea, poppy-flecked fields, and mythical river valleys? She has not simply waltzed over for the ambience. This is the heartland of her maternal family line, and she is here with a purpose. We'll use our hunting prowess.
Game saved.
You can't imagine where she would have stayed in this town. Pretty as it may be, you leave and take the road south, stopping beside an orchard to rest. Your knowledge of the local dialect is passable enough to overhear a couple of fruit pickers talking about a recent distinguished visitor. Curious, you ask them if they are referring to your queen, at which they fall silent. It seems they've been sworn to secrecy. Gently encourage them to give up all they know. Trade? No, we'll use force. Your authoritative presence unsettles them into confessing what they know, which frankly, being fruit pickers, isn't that much more than you. One thing they have heard is that the queen will be staying in luxury with family, a country residence, or castle with pointy turrets, no doubt. It is now but a question of exactly which of her landed relatives she came here to visit. Use deduction. We'll give it a shot. You sneak upon proof it is her cousin Ernest she is visiting. While the prince's welcome is polite, his stiffness of manner alerts your suspicions when, after tea, he gives you the freedom of the ivy-clad castle. You waste no time seeking signs she was there. You find paper on the desk in a guest bedroom impressed with quill marks and make a rubbing. A letter from the queen to her handmaid. It largely concerns itself with Ernest's handsome looks. When you raise the subject with Prince Ernest, he becomes rather twitchy. Try to read his thoughts. Nah, we wish to help the queen. You've lost some face in royal circles. I shall tell you nothing. Nothing, Prince Ernest says curtly, exhausted by your chatter. Yet another interloper prying into her personal affairs, as so many did during the crushing confines of her youth. The queen's cousin then storms into the gardens to sulk. The next day, he seems only very slightly calmer. She asked me to help trace our family tree, that is all. I will not stop you going after her, in spite of your impertinence, but only because I am concerned for her welfare. There's to be a masked ball in Monegasque. You will find her there. Okay. Pass the beef and continue on. So, yeah, that was the first little decision line of the Sunken Treasure DLC. The new one that just came out, Botanical Gardens, I don't think I've unlocked yet. Yeah, I think we got to get some engineers, and then perhaps... I wouldn't think it would be investor level. Considering, you know, we got the zoo and museum at artisan levels. I would think the botanical garden would be rather attainable as well. Unless they're just trying to pump some content into the late game. Do we want to upgrade that? I don't think we do we? Not really. I mean, I don't. Really don't, because it is quite expensive doing that. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I suppose I should come over here. And yeah, I can do that off camera. I'm gonna set up kind of a layout for beer production. Although I don't even know if I'm going to do that. I don't even know if I'm going to have actual beer production over here. Or if what I'm going to do here is just simply grow wheat and hops.
Now.
Yeah, I think that might be a better idea, actually. Because I'm looking at it now and there's not a whole lot of room here. Whoa. Shoot, I don't know. The only issue with that is then I've got even more I've got to put on trade routes. Yeah. I think what I might do is...
Admiral!
Oh, Jesus. I'll do it off camera, and then I'll show you what I've done. Well, let's go ahead and check out this expedition real quick.
Set our bearings right.
Okay. Your crew attempts the crossing of a vicious strait like Odysseus along the coast of Sicily. They see a subsidiary current running counter to the main flow. Its strength so wild it brings fish with deformed eyes and luminescent bellies to the surface. What creatures are not swallowed by this whirlpool end up impaled on the shore's nasty teeth? Avoid the whirlpool and maneuver to dodge the shore.
Game saved.
The maneuver is even more complicated than expected. The ship is driven alongside the whirlpool and flirts with the shore. The rackets of the water covering the orders shouted by officers. The current speeds up, inexorably pulling the ship towards the reef. Spin the ship to take the damage on its flank, or bombard the shore in an attempt to slow the ship. Let's try that down. Power faces power in a risky but successful attempt. All cannons are fired in the shore's direction in a surprisingly efficient effort to slow the ship down. The ship lands on the devastated coast and the hull is barely grated by the remains of the broken stone spears. Pass the beef and continue. Okay. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. And in the next one,
Are you permitted to serve one such as I.
No, I'm
Some
not.
people fish. Others
Yes, yes, go away. Anyways, in the next episode, before I was so rudely interrupted, we will be finishing up those expeditions, and I should have something to show for the beer aisle. Anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.